Finally, some Call of Duty. This music really brings back memories. Well, I guess I should do something about the edges. That's not exactly what I meant. Okay, let me go to the settings, graphics. Let me change the resolution real quick. And the game broken. Well, I guess you have to deal with the 800x600 resolution. Okay, finally I can play the multiplayer. Whoa, wait. This game is older than me. Surely nobody played this now? Wow. Get your grandpa, kids. Okay, let's play some good old Call of Duty.
Listen up. Private Martin, you're on the obstacle course and doing weapons training today.
Here we got Sergeant Foley giving us training of a 2-year-old, even though I'm pretty sure I'm a World War II soldier. He made me look at some basic signs and then...
Got your sorry butt here
ladies,
too, huh?
This is not your Aunt Fanny's dance!
Are you gay, Foley? Then they deafen you by some machine gun rounds.
Sergeant, fire up those machine guns! Those are live rounds, boys! Stay down! Private Martin, proceed through that door. Sergeant Moody's gonna take you through weapons training. The rest of you ladies, stay right here.
Fuck, I knew who was gay. Then Sergeant Moody started giving me a guns training, but I wasn't feeling it, so I shot him. He kept on talking, so I just finished the mission. After finishing the training, I was worried for a little bit, because Call of Duty 1 is really old game. My main problem with old games is that most of the times they are not balanced enough. They are unfair as well. So it's not like Dark Souls difficulty, no, it's completely unfair most of the times. So, is Call of Duty balanced? The campaign divided into 3 parts: American, British, Soviet army. As for the American missions, they are very calm and relaxing and beautiful, to be honest. For the past few years, there aren't many games which I leave and then I miss to play it again. But Call of Duty 1 is one of them. In the American army you can do a bunch of things, and also you can do many objects and in many areas and in many times of the day. And the atmosphere and the feel and the horror of war is really present in that game. They clearly put a lot of effort in this game for the American army. But the highlight of this campaign, when you meet Captain Bryce. But I'm not gonna lie, he looks like a retard.
Well, goodness me, Americans! Made quite a racket, didn't you? That's quite all right. I can still walk.
Captain Bryce, Captain Foley. Where's Major Ingram?
Not only Captain Bryce is good, the other characters in the American army are very good. And they have been voice acted perfectly. Like we all know, World War II games don't have that much of a story. So you have to give me a great characters for me to enjoy my experience with the story. And they killed it with the characters. I gotta say, they really killed it with the characters. Especially Captain Foley, like he's a very good leader, and he always crack jokes now and then. So I gotta give him one. Okay, Captain Foley, what do you say to a gay man who's trying to sleep with you?
Approach your current objective.
So that's for the American campaign. It's very good, it's relaxing, it's calm, it's balanced. Are the other campaigns as good or as balanced? Let's see. After the Americans freed Captain Bryce, we now control Sergeant Evans. And then we go to secure the bridge at night. And then we defend the same bridge at day from tanks and wait for the Allied reinforcements. And then you go to a German facility all by yourself. And then you get a chase mission with a car. And then you have to shoot down planes from the sky with AA gun, and you have to go undercover to a German ship. Holy fucking shit, that's very diverse.
Ich muss das überprüfen. Einen Moment bitte. Ich habe einen Offizier hier. Er sagt, er habe Papiere.
Aside from the diversity, the British campaign is better than the American campaign, because the American campaign was kinda easy, but fair, still fair, but it was kinda easy. But the British campaign was difficult and challenging and very, very diverse. So that's why I see it even more likable than the American campaign. And the characters and Captain Bryce and Sergeant Waiters and the rest of the British Army were very indeed good. The highlight of the British campaign, without a doubt, the undercover mission in the German ship. I wonder what game did it first. So until now everything is balanced, difficult for a little bit, but fair. And I haven't had any trauma with my all games experiences. So until now, Call of Duty 1, 10 out of 10. I mean, of course not 10 out of 10, but like 9 out of 10. And it's really a shame because I really enjoyed this game more than MW 2019 campaign. Until this point into the video, you're probably thinking, wow, Call of Duty 1 is a perfect game. Actually, you're wrong. Let me tell you why. The Soviet campaign in Call of Duty 1 is dog shit. For many reasons. For example, in the American campaign and the British campaign, you always have a lead character like Captain Foley, Captain Moody for the Americans, and Captain Bryce, Captain Waters for the British. In the Soviet campaign, there isn't any. You don't feel the connection between the characters and the other characters with you. No, you're just playing boring missions with the repetitive objects. Like at this point into this game, you have done it all. You have destroyed tanks, planes, you have secured areas. You have done it all at this point. So the Soviet campaign is just repetitive stuff pushed into this game. And also, that being said about the characters, you also can go like 3 minutes, 4 minutes without any dialogue.
Yes, comrade.
What am I playing? Red Dead Redemption 2? World War II games don't have that much of a story. And you don't give me characters as well? Bro, give me a break. Like, if you don't have a story, at least give me a nice characters. It was balanced for the most part, but the main problem is the boredom in the Soviet campaign. It's very boring, and it's definitely the worst out of the 3 campaigns. This is my explanation for the Soviet campaign being that bad. I think it's one of either. They either pushed it so the game can release in November, which is a very good month for video games, or either they just ran out of bucket, which I don't think that's the problem. No, I think they really pushed the game so it can release on November, which is a very good month for sales. To be fair, the first mission of the Soviet campaign was probably the best mission in the game.
There will be no mercy for defeatists, cowards, or traitors. Ready? Okay, go, go, go!
And there's a couple of tank missions which were fun to play as well, but nothing surprisingly good. As I said, still the worst campaign. After finishing the main 3 campaigns, which are the American, the British, the Soviet, then you get to play an end for each of them. As for the American, you have to defeat bunkers. Fun! and it's really pointless and boring, and it's too short. It's like 5 minutes only. As for the British, you have to destroy V2 rockets and you have to destroy anti-tanks. It's really pointless and generic and stupid. As for the Soviet army, the end for the Soviet army, which I think it's the best, you have to raise the flag after finally the Nazis have been defeated, which was too short and pointless as well.
Hurry, comrade! Berlin is ours!
So let me give you a quick summary about the campaign. Call of Duty 1 campaign is clearly fantastic, and clearly Activision made that campaign with love and care. And they really showed World War II in a way that no other could, except maybe for World at War, could show it. But there's some problems that that game has really push it back miles away. Like the dumb AI. And sometimes when you shoot, you can't see clearly what's happening in your screen, especially if it's a machine gun or a high fire rate gun with some very, very bad last third of the game, which is the most important third. So yeah, that what really pushed Call of Duty 1 back. Okay, finally we move to the multiplayer. Pretty fucked up ping, but let me try. Okay, let me try another server. And that's keep happening, except maybe for one server or two server. And when I ended up playing, is an old game, is a really old game with some fucked up ping, but I had fun. I guess if you're into old games, you might like it as well. So yeah, that has been Call of Duty 1. I'm very sure you know what you're getting into if you play this game. You get what you expect. Because clearly no one will buy that game now. Only if you are doing a retrospect of the series, or you want to try all of the Call of Duty games. And let me give you an advice. If you're looking for an old and good World War II game, and if you're trying to play the series in order, or you're doing a retrospect of that game because you played in the past, I'd say pick up Call of Duty 1. However, if you can't handle old games and you can't handle the old graphics and the old animations and the old gunplay, and if you can't handle some boring missions and the dead multiplayer, pretty much, I'd say skip it.
All right, the mortars are taking a break. Johnson, go have a look.
Right, Captain.